Hi, this is just a short video to let you know about changes that are coming for our in-person worship. We received a letter yesterday, which was September 3rd. This was on Friday, and that was the same day that we heard some restrictions coming from the Alberta government as well. So I'm just going to read to you. We will send you this letter from the COVID task force, which has been giving direction for our diocese regarding what we should be doing to protect ourselves. So I'll read a couple pieces of this letter. It matches kind of what the Alberta government has been saying regarding indoor masks and things like that. So I'll read a couple pieces of this letter, and again, you'll get this whole letter. So, quote, "At this point, the most vulnerable are unvaccinated people and those who received early vaccinations and are experiencing declining immunity. Unvaccinated persons include children under 12 years of age, people who cannot be vaccinated because of health issues, and people who have chosen not to be vaccinated. While vaccines do not fully prevent people from becoming infected or being contagious, they do greatly reduce the risk of serious illness and the need for hospitalization. Over the summer in Alberta, 88% of COVID-19 ICU patients were unvaccinated. Fully vaccinated persons made up less than 4% of ICU patients." So I actually heard that for people who have double vaccinations, I've heard this from Dr. Hinshaw recently, that 92.4% 92.4% of those in the ICU were unvaccinated people. So it's a very small percentage of people who have both vaccines that are ending up in the ICU. But yet there are still 4% people who do have double vaccinations in the ICU. They also said that people who have one dose, it makes it less likely they're going to end up in the ICU, but it does seem that they are a little more at risk than people who have two doses of the vaccine. So that's one quote from the letter. I'll go to another quote. "For the time being, parishes that are currently offering in-person worship may continue doing so that we're not shut down. However, all parishes should be prepared to offer alternatives to in-person services, as the requirement to suspend services is a very real possibility that will come with short notice." So I know that's a pretty disappointing because we have only been open to in-person services for 2 Sundays. And we held off on going to in-person services because we wanted to make sure that this exact thing wasn't going to happen, that we weren't all of a sudden going to be shut down again. So it is possible that we will have to go back to recordings. We hope that doesn't happen, but it sounds like that's a possibility. And it sounds like the reason they're doing this is really to keep the hospitals from being overwhelmed. We don't want the ICUs to become overwhelmed, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, that's the real motivation for any of the measures that are taking place. I know everyone's talking about increased infections, but if vaccinations were really working really well, we would still see increased vaccinations. We would just see less serious illness and death, or less intense rates of illness and death. Okay, another quote from the letter. "Requirements now include the mandatory use of masks." So everyone's going to have to show up again with masks. We'll have masks at the door. Make sure that that all that's available. "Appropriate distancing between individuals and cohorts." So we'll have to make sure that when you're sitting in the pews, that everyone is distanced properly. And we'll probably make sure that downstairs is available as well, and we'll project that service downstairs in case our upstairs fills up and we can't fit any more people up there regarding distancing. And hand washing / sanitizing. So we'll make sure that we we have always had hand sanitizer very available. So as people come in, they'll be sanitizing as well. So another quote. We're to provide tracing information we'll have a sign-in sheet. We don't really want to get to the point where people have to pre-register to come to the service. I don't like the idea of having to do that. So we're just going to try to make as much space available with distancing. But we will have a sign-in sheet so that if any infection happens, we can let people know that it was in our community and that kind of thing. So social functions, they say, including coffee hours, both indoor and outdoor, are now suspended. So we're not able to have those kinds of social gatherings, especially with food. So we won't have coffee hour anymore after service until we hear otherwise. So I know this is very disappointing for us. I don't know what to say, but we just hopefully this is not for a long period of time. Yeah, we just have to make sure the ICU numbers don't get too high, and that's the real factor that needs to take precedence here. So please do pray that we can at some point get back to normal here, because as I've said a number of times, COVID is not the only thing we're dealing with in our society right now. These distancing measures can have a real effect on people as well. So, and especially if we are not able to gather for face-to-face, that has a real effect on people as well. So please do pray for us. Stay safe and be wise. God bless you.